I understand that that is his defense, na it was done in his personal capacity. Pero ultimately, the question is, where did you actually get that 30 million? If you got it from Centerways, then probably that 30 million was also taken from, the donation was actually made by Centerways. Di ba? So, I don't want to prejudge it at this point, pero I think yan po yung magiging takbo po ng pagsisiyasat na gagawin po ng COMELEC sa usapin po ng Centerways and Mr. Lubiano's donation to Senate President Cheese.
Sir, sa admission na may kamag-anak po siya dun sa mga lugar kung saan meron po silang government property, may mga violation po ba?
Well, I think yan po yung isa sa mga real problems that, you know, this yung conflict of interest questions relating to government contracts are concerned, no? Kasi ito, I don't think there exists a law today kung saan parang yung mga kapatid, mga kamag-anak, hindi pwedeng sumali sa mga pinagbabawal po ng mga negosyo, particularly po yung mga government contracts. Actually, ang kailangan pong panagutin doon kung sakali, hindi naman si Mr. Lubiano Di ba? Kundi yung mga kamag-anak na nasa gobyerno. Which is why I think there are several measures in the Senate and maybe in the House na nagsasabi na dapat yung pong mga kamag-anak ay dapat hindi din sumasali sa mga kontrata ng gobyerno within the 4th degree of consanguinity. Ibig sabihin, hindi pwede na, sige, bibigay ko na lang din sa anak ko yung magpopolitika muna ako. So, ibig sabihin, pag kami ganun pong batas, talagang the entire family should be out of the business. Kasi, ang totoo naman, hindi lang naman po si Mr. Lubiano yung conflicted. Meron pong ilan pang mga senador. In fact, marami ding mga kongresista. I think ganyan po yung sitwasyon. No? So, to basically just to put a stop to it, baka yan pong legislation, I think at the Senate, maybe in the House, dapat po maisulong din po talaga ito. I'd like to be clear on the conflict of interest provisions. No? In the Constitution, yung pong members of Congress, hindi ho yan pwedeng kumuha ng mga kontrata sa gobyerno. Yun yung una. Second, sa Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, hindi rin po pwede. No? So, yun po yung dalawang principal regulations and laws no governing po government officials. No? Pero yung pong pagbabawal, for example, dun sa tiyuhin, pinsan, kamag-anak, no? I don't think wala akong specific pa talagang batas na nagbabawal po dito. Pwede ako magkamali, I have to review it again. No? Pero I think wala pa akong ganyan today.
Thank you, Bibian. Next is Rose Cas from UNTV. Please proceed.
Good afternoon po, Kong. Since kahapon po sa House Infracom ay pinagtiba yung motion ng written disclosure ng mga House Infracom members na walang conflict of interest doon po sa ginagawang investigasyon, hindi rin po ba po pwedeng maging initiative ng House Infracom na once and for all linawin? Dahil po may mga kapwa kongresista po kayong lumalabas sa mga reports na may ugnayan sa mga contractors. Hindi po ba pwedeng maging initiative yun ng Infracom? For example, ang Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism, may reports sila on certain lawmakers na may kaugnayan sa mga contractors. For example, si Congressman Elizalde sa SunWest, although he was reportedly divested from the company since 2019.
So, what is the question? I'd like to be clarified with the question again. You wanted us to be a little bit more proactive, ganun ba?
Kung pwede nyo po bang initiate para po ma-clear or magkaroon din ng chance yung mga mambabatas na to na nare-report na may link pa rin dun po sa mga contractors?
No, I think yung pong disclosure requirement, yan na po yung ipapatupad po natin. Kasi, again, to be very clear, in that disclosure, the template that we're looking at today, hindi pa siya final, i-check nila if they are conflicted or not. So, if they're not conflicted, okay, i-check lang nila yun. If they're conflicted, i-check din po nila. So, it's not just a mere document. They have to sign it and they have to go to the notary public and sabihin talaga. At ibig sabihin, in the event, for example, na find out na hindi naman pala totoo, conflicted ka, di ba? May problema yun. Kasi basically, pinurjure po ng House member yung sarili niya.
Kaya lang sir, limited lang siya dun sa mga members ng Infracom. For example, si Congressman Elizalde na matagal nang hinihinga ng panic tungkol sa mga issue na lumalabas, hindi kami nakakakuha ng statements from him, pero kayo, hindi naman siya member ng Infracom, di po ba? So, limited lang kasi, di ba, sa Infracom members yun pong written disclosure.
Tama po. Limited sa mga Infracom members, no? I have to check also if yung mga ex-officio members will also be asked kasi they can sit and vote
So,
in the committee.
So, hindi po pwedeng gawin yun sa mga non-members?
We can only bind our own members as a committee. Now, yung 3 committees po involved in Infracom. If that is the case, I think, like what I stated earlier, si Congressman Jokno, if he wants an entire House na disclosure, kailangan ho niyang gumawa po ng House resolution for this. Para ma-cover po lahat ng mga non-members po of the House Infracom.
The reason I asked the question, kasi kahapon po, when Navotas City Representative Chanco was asked kung pinoprotektahan daw po ba ng House leadership si Congressman Ko, he said, hindi ba obvious? So, ano po yung reaction niya dun?
Well, opinion niya yun eh. We are governed by the rules and the House rules. So, sabi ko nga, baka if marami na siyang tanong, pwede niyang tawagan eh. Pwede niyang kausapin personally. So, but again, he raised valid concerns, which will be taken up probably by the House Committee on Appropriations. So that's the proper venue para dun talaga sa mga concerns niya. Para everything is official, hindi lang po nasa labas ng House, mapag-usapan. And at the end of the day, kaya nga po natin ilalabas to sa mga committees, sa mga pagsasagawa ng budget hearings ng House, is to improve the system. So, pwedeng-pwede po yun sa Committee on Appropriations.
Just to get a categorical answer, ibig sabihin yung House leadership, hindi po pinoprotektahan ng House leadership yung mga congressmen na nalilink sa mga contractors.
Hindi.
Okay po, kay Congressman Rudon po ulit. Kahapon po kasi sa investigation, it seems like ang daling umamin po ni former DPWH Bulacan 1st District Engineer Alcantara sa mga tanong, pati sa pagkakasino, pati dun sa pag-fake ng ID, pati dun sa pagpirma. Hindi po ba, does it sound an alarm na ang bilis niyang umamin, inaamin niya agad na kasalanan niya? And wala po kayang, hindi po ba yun kahinahinala for you?
Hindi ho, kasi admission against interest yun eh. Yung pag-admit niya na nagpupunta siya sa casino using false identities, may kasasapitan ho talaga siya nun. Di ba? Yung pag-amin niya, dalawang bagay naman yung inamin niya eh. Negligent siya dito sa mga proyektong ito. Pangalawa, pumapasok sa mga casino na fake IDs, no? May kasasapitan ho siyang malubha eh. Kahit yung negligence, may kaso yun eh. Di ba? May kasong kriminal yun. May kasong administratibo yun. So, to a certain extent, we appreciate his candor in making all of these admissions, no? Pero again, alam din namin that he's also trying to save himself from the plunder charge. And I stated again na I don't think he can escape from that plunder charge.
So malayong mangyaring fall guy siya?
Paano mahirap maging fall guy kung ikaw yung boss ng opisina eh? Tapos ikaw yung pumirma eh. Sa mga cheque, ikaw yung pumirma sa mga kontrata, no? So, I don't think there is no fall guy in this particular Ghost Project case. Sorry, I'll clarify lang yung binanggit ko sa yung pong mga conflict of interest, no? Yung pong prohibition on certain relatives ay sa Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. Ito po ay applicable lang sa Pangulo ng Pilipinas, Vice Presidente, Senate President at Speaker of the House. Ibig sabihin, hindi sila pwede magkaroon ng mga transaksyon kasama yung mga kamag-anak po nila within the 3rd degree. So this does not apply to members of Congress, whether senator or congressman or local politicians in the local government units which is yung pong specific case po ni Mr. Lubiano. So tama yung binabanggit nung iba, kailangan po ng bagong batas to not just bind the President, Vice President, Speaker, and Senate President, but to bind all members of Congress. No? At kung gusto natin isama, kahit yung pong mga local government executives po.
Thank you, Rose. We will now proceed with Lianesca Panti from GMA Online for her questions.
Sir, good afternoon. Follow-up ko lang po yung sinabi ni DS Ortega, yung sa may finished classrooms na sa La Union pero funded pa rin under proposed 2026 budget. Would that be right?
Dalawa yung nahanap lang namin.
Magkano po ito, sir?
For class, mga 2.5 million each lang.
2.5 million.
Oo. Pero syempre, cross-validate naman po yun.
So far, ito pa lang
Nung-
yung nakikita mo.
At a glance lang kasi we were looking at the sa DepEd. Pero siguro may clerical error or nadoble. Hindi naman ganun kadami, so baka nagkamali lang. So kaya chinek din namin, syempre pag nag-request ng funding for classrooms, ganun, para hindi na po malagyan. Although, medyo malaki nga po yung backlog for classrooms. So kung maraming lumang classrooms yung mga lugar, why not request for more, mas bagong classrooms?
Sir, it's already your second term as lawmaker.
Second term. yeah.
Did you have previous experience na ganito? Nadodoble? I mean, finish na meron pa rin.
Nito pa lang, hindi naman siya ganun ka-glaring kasi yung natapos naman is parang continuing lang siya. So parang 2 plus 2 classroom. Pero nandun pa rin siya. Siguro, hindi klaro na na-finish. Kasi usually, pag hindi naman ganun kalaki yung pondo mo, by phase, parang ganun. Although, may theory ako kung bakit. Dahil, di ba nga po, hard hit kami nung bagyo, nung nakaraang buwan. Saka, syempre, ang La Union, lagi natatamaan ng bagyo. Baka meron po yung mga repairs na na-complete tapos nailagay pa na for additional classroom funding. So, maliit lang, 2 lang naman. So, baka nagkamali lang.
Okay, sir. Sir, kay Kong Terry naman po yung isa. More on the legal side lang, sir. You mentioned kasi yung plunder. Experience kasi natin pag nagpo-prosecute tayo ng plunder charges. Laging nada-downgrade, nagpi-plea bargain. Kasi pag plunder, kailangan nakapangalan sa'yo and dapat nakuha mo yung 50 million and above na threshold. Conspiracy aside from conspiracy, dapat nakuha mo, dapat nakapangalan sa'yo yung account na nag-receive. Kasi yung recent experience sa Estrada case, staff yung nakakuha nung pangalan ng staff niya, yung dun pumunta yung supposed stolen fund. So, Senator Estrada was not found guilty dun sa higher crime. Dito ba sa flood control na to, dapat plunder agad ba, sir? Given na yan nga, mataas kasi yung requirement for a plunder conviction and yung by experience lang. Laging sa Makati parking building just 2 weeks ago, lahat acquitted. Not a single person was found guilty. Initially plunder din ito eh. So ano nangyari? Parang sir, advisable ba na plunder? Or dapat graft muna? Kasi graft is just partiality eh. Yung pinaka main requirement niya. And yung malversation naman, using the budget for a different, yung budget for a certain budget item, ginamit mo para sa iba kasi yun yung malversation. Just like to get your thoughts also as a lawyer. Thank you.
Okay. Yung pong kaso po ni District Engineer Alcantara, syempre, ang kailangan hong bahagi pa ho nito yung testimony po ni Sally Nicolas Santos, no? Which is the manager or owner of Sims Construction Trading. So, kailangan ho talagang palutangin, hanapin, isabina, no? Si Sally Nicolas Santos, Sims Construction Trading. Kasi siya ho yung pwedeng magbigay ng dagdag na impormasyon sa Senado, sa Kongreso, so kahit ano pa hong mga bodies po sa bansa, kung ano po yung nangyari sa mga cheque po na inisyu sa kanya. No? So, ang pagtingin ko naman ho, dapat yung pinakamataas na talagang papasok po na charge yung dapat pong una na ikasa. No? Kasi ultimately naman, no, pag na-downgrade, di ba na-downgrade po to graft? No? Ganun din ba yung nangyari kay Janet Lim Napoles eh? And to be clear, na-convict ho siya on plunder and na-convict ho siya on graft.